this is taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, and the April unemployment report is out, and the unemployment rate is at 9%, and underemployment is at 15.9%. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, you know what? It sucks. You know, I mean, unemployment is just going to happen. It's probably the worst out here in California. But you know what I say that? We got Bin Laden, so it doesn't matter.
Wages are up, but hours worked are unchanged and still under the 40 hours needed to be considered full-time work. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, of course wages are going to be up and hours are going to be down, because the guys on Wall Street, their wages go up, their hours go down, and us poor guys, the poor guys on the boulevard right here, we're going to have to hustle to make what we got to make.
Now, I know you're a friend of leisure and hospitality. Now, leisure and hospitality jobs increased and government workers lost their jobs. What do you think about that?
And you know what? It was bound to happen. How many average Joes lost their jobs before any government people lost their jobs? It was going to happen. It sucks that it has to happen to hardworking people. I would like to see some of the higher ups lose their position, you know? Balance everything out.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Come to Hollywood, you're bound to have a good time. You're going to spend money. I mean, you're going to spend money anywhere, but you know what? You get the whole Hollywood Walk of Fame, you get the Hollywood sign, you get to interact with characters like us. We make your time entertaining here.
All right, so in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the April unemployment report... Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the April unemployment report is out, and the unemployment rate is at 9%, and underemployment is at 15.9%. Now, Batman, what do you think about that?
I think it's a very unfortunate situation, and I believe that's why it's best for every man to try his best to basically be his own employer, you know, don't work for anyone and become your own businessman, you know, be very independent, so that way you don't have to rely on the employment rate.
Now wages are up, but hours worked are unchanged and still under the 40 hours needed for a full-time work week. Now, what do you think about that, Batman?
Yeah, that's very unfortunate to raise wages up and give less hours. So like I said, once again, it's very important to be independent and have your own business. For example, what I'm doing out here is pretty much like my own business. I work on my own hours, work on my own schedule, and I make my own hours, like I said, and the rates doesn't fluctuate up or down. It pretty much stays consistent. So it's very important to be very independent is what I'm basically saying.
Now, since you're in the leisure and hospitality business, leisure and hospitality jobs increased, but government workers have lost their jobs. What do you think about that?
Well, that tells me what direction I need to go to. You know, don't work for government and work for myself.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
I mean, I'd just like to tell the viewers once again that we don't know what the job economy is if it's gonna go up or if it's gonna go down. So basically, once again, like I would say, you want to be your own businessman. You want to be your own businessman. You can never make a lot of money working for someone else. So in the long run, basically what I'm saying is, it's a good starting point to work for someone else, but as you're working for someone else, try to gain something, knowledge out of that, and apply that into your own business. See how they run the business and make your own business, or else you'll be forever a slave to another person's business.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the April unemployment report is out, and the unemployment rate is at 9%, and underemployment is at 15.9%. Now, Vader, what do you think about that?
Well, I'd have to say that there are too many overqualified individuals working underqualified jobs. That's a problem. The minority or the middle class is being evaporated, while the upper class is growing and the lower class is growing. It's a bell curve.
All right. Now wages are up, but hours worked are unchanged and still under the 40 hours needed for full-time work. Now, what do you think about that?
I think it's a plan enforced by employers to prevent paying or to prevent from paying health insurance and additional benefits and cutting their overhead cost.
Now, leisure and hospitality jobs have increased, but government workers are losing their jobs. What do you think about that?
It's scary. There won't be anybody to use these hospitality places, hotels, and things along those lines if our economy keeps on the same track that we're on right now.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Help a brother out. Get me a job.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. This is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment is at 9%, and underemployment is at 15.9%. Now what do you think about that?
It's absolutely ridiculous because this is a state of California, and the government should be over here like getting people jobs, helping, opening up new businesses. All I see is places closing down, and it's just absolutely ludicrous that they're worried about everybody in all these other countries instead of worrying about their own country, where half the people here are barely getting by, having to apply for all kinds of programs and everything just to get food on their table, and it's just absolutely, like, I just don't understand it.
Now wages are up, but hours worked are unchanged and still under the 40 hours needed for full-time work. What do you think about that?
That's also a big joke because so many people that are getting laid off from their jobs and people who are not getting their full hours. I mean, what's that about? Companies need to be able to let their employees make enough money so that they could live at least comfortably and not be struggling, because when you actually do have a job and are still struggling, that's even worse. That's absolutely, like, you know, you have a job and you go to work and you still can't make ends meet. That really is a problem.
Now, you're kind of in the leisure and hospitality business. Now, leisure and hospitality jobs have increased, yet government workers are losing their jobs. What do you think about that?
Well, it's because you have to make money somehow, so if you can't make it doing whatever it is that you're qualified to do or whatever it is that you're used to be doing, and you're getting laid off and you're getting fired from your jobs, you have to find some other way to obviously make some income. So that's why people are having to choose jobs that they actually don't want to do or isn't what their career motive was, but they have to do them because they have to get by. They have to make the money to pay their bills and pay their rent and everything else. So they'll take jobs, whatever jobs they can, because they can't actually do what they were trained to do or what their career is.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Yeah, the U.S. government needs to come to California and take care of this problem before it gets worse, because it's not getting any better.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment rate is at 9%. And underemployment is at 15.9%. Now, what do you think about that?
I think that's atrocious, man. You know, all these people out here almost homeless and don't have jobs and unemployed. That's ridiculous, you know. The government needs to do something about that and do it right.
Now, wages are up. But hours worked are unchanged and still under the 40 hours needed for full-time work. Now, what do you think about that?
It just makes me sad, man, to see people going through changes like that. You know, here in the United States, we work hard to build this country, and look what's happening. It's getting torn down.
Now, leisure and hospitality jobs are up, but government workers are losing their jobs. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because they asking for so much money, pay-wise. You know, they're not giving a guy like you and me a chance to get where they want to go at in life, or where they're at in life. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, cut all that $150,000 a year jobs out and let the little man get something too. You see what I'm saying?
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Well, I'd like to say hello and pay attention to your government, pay attention to what's happening to the world and to the people. Because, you know, we all must stick together and get the things done right. You know, to help Obama stay in the office, because he's helping us, okay? He's the right man for the job. Give him a chance. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you.
All right.